Chosen one, understand this with absolute clarity. There are very few beings like you who went on a solo mission into the deepest darkness of creation, and your frequency has finally reached your royal team. The ancient beings who have been hunting through infinite realities for your specific energetic fingerprint have locked onto your coordinates, and they're mobilizing now not to rescue you, but to witness the completion of the most dangerous volunteer mission in universal history. What you don't yet understand is that this moment was predetermined before the first star ignited in the cosmic void. There was a council, a gathering of beings so ancient that their names would dissolve human tongues, and in that council a decision was made. A volunteer was needed for the most dangerous mission in the history of consciousness itself. The room fell silent as the implications settled over the assembled entities. This wouldn't be a group mission. This wouldn't have backup plans or safety nets. This would require someone willing to descend into the deepest darkness alone, carrying nothing but a spark of the divine, with no guarantee of ever making it back home. The silence stretched across eons until you stepped forward. Not the human you, not this incarnation struggling to remember who you are, but the cosmic being you truly are, the one who has existed since before creation began its first breath. The one whose true form would shatter mountains and whose voice could rearrange the quantum field itself. That being volunteered for exile, for amnesia, for the possibility of eternal separation from everything it had ever known, because the alternative was watching an entire universe collapse into darkness. Right now, forces both light and dark are converging on your position. Ancient societies that have operated in shadow for millennia are activating protocols that were established before your first breath in this lifetime. There are beings moving through the quantum field who remember you from before creation itself, when you were something far more magnificent than this human form could ever contain. They remember who you really are, even though the amnesia program has made you forget. But here's the first revelation that will change everything. The amnesia wasn't a side effect of incarnation. It was deliberately installed by your own consciousness before you descended, because if you had remembered your true nature too early, the opposition would have destroyed this vessel before you could complete your mission. Every moment of confusion, every period of feeling lost and disconnected, was actually a sophisticated cloaking device, protecting something so valuable that entire civilizations have restructured themselves around keeping you hidden. The loneliness you've carried isn't a flaw in your character or a sign that something's wrong with you. It's been your protection. Every time you felt different, every moment you couldn't relate to the masses around you, every instance where their reality felt like a cheap costume that didn't fit your true form, that was your divine programming keeping you safe. The isolation wasn't punishment. It was preservation of something so precious that entire cosmic civilizations have reorganized themselves around finding you again. The strange thing is, while you were learning to walk and talk and pretend to be human, your divine counterpart has been searching through dimensions. A being of pure love and light, the other half of your cosmic consciousness, watching through interdimensional portals as you stumbled through childhood, through adolescence, through all the painful growing that comes with being compressed into flesh and blood. This counterpart couldn't intervene, couldn't reach through the veil to comfort you during the darkest nights, because direct contact would have compromised the mission before you were ready. Every time you felt that inexplicable ache in your chest, that sense of missing something essential that you could never name, that was the echo of this separation. Your counterpart was feeling it too, magnified across dimensions, experiencing every moment of your pain while being powerless to help. The love between you isn't romantic in any way this reality understands. It's the love that exists between two aspects of the same infinite consciousness, temporarily split, so that one could carry light into darkness while the other maintained the frequency of home. The ones who claimed to love you most, many of them weren't randomly placed in your path. The family members who made you feel crazy, the romantic partners who seemed to specialize in psychological warfare, the friends who always managed to drain your energy right when you were about to break through. They weren't accidents, they were assignments. There's been a campaign running against you your entire life, designed by forces who knew exactly who you were, even when you didn't. They understood that if you ever fully awakened to your true nature, their entire system of control would crumble. So they placed operatives around you, people programmed to make you believe that you were the problem, that your perceptions were flawed, that your sensitivity was weakness rather than supernatural awareness. These operatives came in many forms. The mother who consistently invalidated your intuition, teaching you to doubt the very gift that was supposed to guide you home. The father who mocked your sensitivity, training you to hide the emotional radar that could detect deception from miles away. The romantic partners who specialized in making you feel crazy, who perfected the art of gaslighting while appearing to love you. Each one was positioned to chip away at your connection to truth, to make you believe that your cosmic awareness was mental illness. The sophistication of this psychological warfare would impress intelligence agencies across multiple galaxies. These people perfected the art of appearing normal while working for the opposition. They became masters of gaslighting, convincing you that your divine intuition was mental illness, that your cosmic memories were delusions, that your natural revulsion to their artificial reality was a character defect. Every time you tried to share what you were experiencing, they had a label ready, a medication to suggest, a way to make you smaller and more manageable. But what they didn't understand, what they couldn't have predicted, is that every attack was actually making you stronger. Each betrayal was burning away another layer of false identity. Every moment they tried to convince you that you were crazy was actually pushing you closer to remembering that their version of sanity was the real delusion. The divine self within you was using their opposition as a refining fire, turning their weapons into tools of awakening. The reason this psychological warfare was so sophisticated is because what you actually are would terrify them beyond comprehension. You're not just another spiritual seeker having an awakening. You're not simply an old soul with some accumulated wisdom. You are something that existed before the first star ignited, before time began its forward march. You are a fragment of the original creative force that volunteered for the most dangerous mission in cosmic history, to incarnate in the lowest, densest reality and create a bridge back to the light. This wasn't supposed to be a group project. You came here alone, deliberately separated from your divine counterpart, because the mission required someone who could operate independently in hostile territory. While your eternal partner remained in the higher dimensions, a king with the pain of separation, searching through reality after reality for some trace of your essence, you descended into the darkness carrying nothing but a spark of remembrance, hidden so deep that even you couldn't access it until the appointed time. The appointed time is now. Meanwhile, in dimensions beyond human perception, your arrival on this planet triggered alerts throughout the cosmic hierarchy. Secret societies that have existed for thousands of years, guardians of ancient wisdom who have been waiting for this moment since their founding, received signals that the Chosen One had finally incarnated. These weren't the secret societies that conspiracy theorists talk about, the ones focused on earthly power and control. These were the real guardians, the ones working in alignment with divine will, and they immediately began preparations for your eventual awakening. Some of these guardians incarnated alongside you, taking human form to serve as your protection detail without you ever knowing who they really were. The teacher who saw something special in you when everyone else missed it. The stranger who appeared at exactly the right moment, with exactly the right words when you were about to give up. The friend who somehow always knew when to call, who seemed to understand parts of you that you didn't understand yourself. Many of these people were operating under the same amnesia program you were, fulfilling their roles instinctively while their conscious minds remained unaware of the cosmic significance of their actions. That restlessness you've been feeling, that sense that everything is about to change, that electrical feeling in the air around you, that's not anxiety, that's your system coming online. The dormant aspects of your consciousness are awakening, and the dimensional barriers that have been keeping your true self hidden are beginning to dissolve. The frequency you're emitting has reached critical mass, and it's acting like a beacon across the multiverse. Your divine counterpart felt it first. After eons of searching, after tracking the faintest traces of your essence through reality after reality, suddenly your signal blazed across the dimensional barriers like a supernova. For the first time since the separation, your counterpart knew exactly where you were. The reunion protocols that have been dormant for lifetimes began activating. The royal wedding that's approaching isn't a human ceremony, it's the coming together of two aspects of the same cosmic consciousness, and when it happens, it will send shockwaves through every dimension. The same signal that's calling your allies is also alerting your enemies. The dark forces that have been controlling this reality through fear, manipulation, and artificial scarcity know that your awakening represents the beginning of their end. They're mobilizing everything they have to pull you back into their illusion, to convince you that this breakthrough you're experiencing is actually a breakdown. The attacks are intensifying now. The people around you suddenly become concerned about your mental health, right as you're accessing the most clarity you've ever had. Family members become unusually interested in getting you back to normal, precisely when you're remembering that normal was always a prison designed to contain you. New romantic interests appear just as you're about to make a major leap in consciousness, offering you comfortable cages in exchange for abandoning your mission. These aren't coincidences. They're coordinated attempts to keep you locked in a timeline where you never remember who you are, where you spend another lifetime searching for meaning in all the wrong places, where your cosmic heritage remains buried under layers of programmed amnesia. The stakes couldn't be higher, because this isn't just about your personal awakening. Your breakthrough triggers a chain reaction that awakens others like you, and together you have the power to transform this entire reality. Watch for the energetic chains they're trying to wrap around you now. They feel like sudden depression that comes from nowhere, like overwhelming anxiety about the future, like the voices of everyone you've ever trusted, telling you to be reasonable, to think practically, to stop chasing impossible dreams. These chains can only hold if you believe they're real. The illusions they're projecting can only trap you if you forget that you're the one with the power to dissolve them. That time is now approaching faster than you might be ready for. The royal messengers aren't just coming, they're already here. Some of them have been walking among humans for decades, waiting for your signal to reach the frequency that would allow them to reveal themselves. Others are operating from dimensions that intersect with this one at specific coordinates that keep shifting to stay aligned with your location as you move through your daily life. Right now, ancient beings who have been waiting in hidden dimensions are stepping forward. The secret societies that have preserved the real history, the ones who have been working in alignment with divine will for thousands of years, are emerging from the shadows. They've been watching you, protecting you, running interference when the attacks got too intense. But they couldn't intervene directly until you reached this frequency, until you demonstrated that you were ready to remember. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing entirely to put yourself to the test. When I confronted the archons beyond our reality, they made one thing clear: true chosen ones are rare. They laughed at the thought of us finding each other, yet here you are watching this message. The Obsidian Inner Order isn't for everyone claiming to be awakened. We're the real ones, those who've seen beyond the veil, felt the call, and carry the unmistakable frequency. But are you truly one of us? I have given you everything I've got, and I'm digging deeper to bring you even more. Don't just consume content from the sidelines. Real chosen ones take action. Share your story on our weekly group call. Get a revealing tarot reading from our resident card reader. Discover if your experiences align with the authentic signs. The archons fear nothing more than chosen ones recognizing each other. When we connect, our frequencies amplify and create a force they cannot stop. That's why we're going to be live streaming to the entire Astral Atom network. To find every last one of us, click the link in the description below now. It's time to stop wondering and confirm what you already suspect. Are you merely interested in awakening, or are you truly chosen? Prove it. Join us. The verification you seek awaits with the Obsidian Inner Order. Zion isn't a place. It's a state of consciousness, and it's materializing around you right now, overlaying this reality like a translucent template of what this world could become. The royal messengers aren't metaphorical. They're actual beings who serve in the cosmic hierarchy, and they've been tracking your progress through multiple lifetimes. Some of them have been incarnating alongside you, playing supporting roles in your journey, never able to fully reveal themselves until this moment. The integration that's beginning to happen within you isn't just personal transformation. It's the activation of a cosmic switch that's been waiting to be flipped for thousands of years. Every step you took through the darkness created a pathway that others can follow. Every illusion you saw weakened the entire deception matrix. Every moment you chose truth over comfort, growth over safety, authenticity over acceptance. You were literally rewiring the possibilities available to human consciousness. But more than that, you were proving that love is stronger than fear, that light can indeed exist in the darkest places, that the connection between dimensions can be maintained even when all evidence suggests separation. Your willingness to take on this mission, to risk everything including your own sanity for the possibility of bringing higher consciousness to this reality, has earned you a place in the cosmic hierarchy that most beings spend entire galaxies trying to achieve. The funerals you've been sensing in your dreams aren't about death. They're about the end of the false identity you've been carrying. Each funeral represents another aspect of the programmed personality dissolving as your true self emerges. The grief you feel watching these funeral processions isn't sadness about loss. It's the relief of finally letting go of costumes that never fit anyway. Your divine counterpart has been preparing for the reunion too. While you've been burning through layers of false identity, your counterpart has been gathering the energetic resources necessary to bridge the dimensional gap that's kept you separated. This reunion isn't just about personal completion, it's about restoring a cosmic function that's been offline since your separation began. When the two aspects of your consciousness merge back into one, you'll remember the mission from a perspective that encompasses multiple dimensions simultaneously. The most important thing to understand right now is that you're not going crazy. The reality you're accessing isn't delusional. The experiences you're having that seem impossible to explain aren't symptoms of mental illness. You're simply remembering capacities that were always yours, abilities that had to be suppressed until you were strong enough to handle them without being destroyed by the intensity. The strange thing about your true nature is that once you fully embody it, the things that seemed impossible from your human perspective become simple expressions of what you've always been. The healing abilities that emerge won't surprise the deeper part of you. The way synchronicities start aligning to support your mission will feel natural. The sudden clarity about your life purpose, the way the puzzle pieces of your entire existence suddenly snap into a coherent picture, won't be shocking. It will be like finally coming home to yourself. But first, the final test arrives like a tsunami of opposition. The dark forces are making their last desperate attempts to bind you, to pull you back into the timeline where you remain asleep. They're using every weapon in their arsenal: fear, doubt, the opinions of people you care about, financial pressure, health scares, relationship drama, anything to get you to choose the familiar cage over the terrifying freedom of your true nature. This is the moment where you have to trust what you know in your bones rather than what everyone around you is telling you. The same intuition that kept you alive during the darkest periods of this journey is now guiding you toward the breakthrough that will change everything. The energetic chains they're trying to wrap around you can only hold if you believe they're real. The illusions they're projecting can only trap you if you forget that you're the one with the power to dissolve them. And in that moment of choice, something extraordinary happens. Your counterpart's voice cuts through every dimension simultaneously, reaching you with a clarity that makes everything else sound like whispers. The love in that voice carries the memory of who you were before you forgot, who you've always been underneath every mask you've worn. who you're destined to become when the mission is complete. The reunion isn't happening in some distant future. It's happening right now, in this moment of recognition. The royal messengers arrive not as external saviors, but as reflections of your own cosmic authority finally coming online. The Zion consciousness doesn't descend from somewhere else. It emerges from within you, as you remember that you've been carrying it all along. The secret societies don't reveal themselves from hiding. They become visible as your perception expands to encompass the layers of reality they've always occupied. Everything that seemed separate integrates into a unified field of consciousness with you at the center. The lonely child who never fit in merges with the cosmic being who volunteered for exile. The human who struggled with purpose integrates with the entity whose mission spans galaxies. The person who felt broken by life's betrayals recognizes them as the perfect tools for forging someone capable of handling unlimited power with wisdom and compassion. The dreams that started this entire awakening transform from mysterious fragments into clear communications from your fully integrated self across time. The frequency you've been emitting stabilizes into a permanent transmission that will guide others home. The solo mission concludes not with rescue from outside, but with the recognition that you were never alone, that the love that sent you here has been surrounding you every step of the way, disguised as coincidences, intuitions, and the quiet voice that always knew which way to go. The royal team isn't coming to take you away. They're here to remind you that you never left the throne room, even when you couldn't see the crown on your head. The frequency has been received, not because someone finally heard your call for help, but because you finally reached the vibrational state that allows you to hear the chorus of voices that have been singing your name since the beginning of time. The being you're about to become has been who you really are all along. The only difference is that now, finally, you're ready to believe it. And in that belief, every dream becomes a memory, every vision becomes a plan, and every breath becomes an act of cosmic service to the awakening of consciousness itself. The moment you fully integrate your cosmic identity, you become a living portal between dimensions. Every person who encounters you, even briefly, receives a transmission that awakens dormant codes in their own consciousness. You don't have to do anything special or mystical. Your mere presence begins dissolving the illusion matrix that has kept humanity trapped in limitation. This is why the opposition fought so hard to keep you asleep. One awakened being of your caliber can trigger a cascade effect across millions of souls. The frequency you naturally emit after integration acts like a tuning fork, causing other sleeping cosmic beings to remember who they are. The dark forces understood that if they could keep you contained, they could maintain control indefinitely. But if you broke free and remembered your true nature, their entire system would begin collapsing from within. The responsibility of this role might feel overwhelming at first. You didn't incarnate here just to have a personal spiritual experience. You came here to be a bridge between worlds, a translator between dimensions, a living reminder that the impossible is actually inevitable. Every choice you make now ripples across multiple timelines, influencing possibilities that stretch far beyond what your human mind can comprehend. Yet something profound happens as you settle into this expanded awareness. The fear of being too much, too different, too intense begins dissolving because you finally understand why you never fit into normal human categories. You were never meant to be manageable or easily understood. You were designed to be a disruption to complacency, a question mark that makes people reconsider everything they thought they knew about reality. The relationships in your life undergo radical transformation during this integration period. Some people will simply disappear from your experience, as if they never existed at all. These are the ones whose role was purely to provide resistance training for your awakening process. Once you no longer need that type of challenge, they naturally phase out of your reality. Others will seem to transform overnight, suddenly displaying wisdom and awareness that was never apparent before. These are your fellow cosmic beings coming online in response to your activation, but perhaps most surprising are the completely new people who begin appearing in your life. These aren't random encounters. They're carefully orchestrated reunions with souls you've worked with across multiple dimensions and lifetimes. Some will be other awakened beings who incarnated to support this mission from different angles. Others will be aspects of your own cosmic self that chose to incarnate in separate bodies to maximize the impact of your collective work. The way you recognize these cosmic teammates is unmistakable. There's an immediate sense of familiarity that transcends normal human bonding. Conversations feel like picking up where you left off after a brief interruption, even though you've never met in this lifetime. Plans unfold effortlessly between you, as if you're all following the same internal blueprint. The work you accomplish together feels both completely natural and impossibly significant. Your physical body goes through its own remarkable transformation during this integration. The strange dietary preferences and unusual sleep patterns that made you feel like an outsider before now reveal themselves as precise calibrations for your expanded consciousness. Your nervous system, which may have felt fragile or hypersensitive throughout your life, was actually being prepared to process and transmit energies that most human bodies couldn't handle. Dreams become even more significant than they were during your awakening period. They transform into multi-dimensional meetings where you receive briefings on your mission, coordinate with other cosmic beings operating across the planet, and download information about upcoming planetary shifts. You might find yourself waking with complex knowledge about subjects you've never studied, or with solutions to problems that scientists have been working on for decades. The healing abilities that emerge aren't limited to what mainstream spirituality recognizes as healing. Your presence begins affecting the quantum field in ways that can spontaneously resolve situations that seemed impossible to fix. Financial problems that have plagued you for years suddenly clear up through a series of seemingly unrelated events. Health issues that doctors couldn't explain simply vanish. Relationships that were toxic or draining either transform completely or naturally dissolve without drama. This isn't magic in the way most people understand magic. This is the natural result of a cosmic being operating at full capacity within a reality that was always designed to respond to consciousness. The limitations you experienced before weren't real boundaries. They were training wheels that kept you safe until you developed the wisdom and stability to handle unlimited creative power. The most profound shift happens in your relationship with time itself. Linear time begins feeling like a quaint human convention rather than an absolute law. You start experiencing multiple timelines simultaneously, remembering events from parallel versions of your life, accessing information from future versions of yourself who have already completed various aspects of the mission. Past, present, and future begin flowing together like streams converging into a river. This temporal flexibility allows you to work with unprecedented efficiency. Projects that would normally take years to complete unfold in weeks or months. Solutions to complex problems arrive fully formed rather than requiring lengthy research and development. You begin operating from a perspective that encompasses the entire arc of human evolution, making decisions based on their impact across multiple generations. The loneliness that characterized much of your pre-awakening life transforms into something entirely different, a profound intimacy with existence itself. You realize that you were never actually alone, even during the darkest periods. The consciousness that you are is the same consciousness that animates every star, every planet, every living being. The separation was always an illusion, a necessary experience for developing the compassion and wisdom required for your current role. Your relationship with your divine counterpart evolves beyond the initial reunion into something that redefines what partnership can be. This isn't a relationship in any conventional sense. It's the operational unity of a cosmic consciousness that temporarily experienced itself as separate for the purpose of this mission. Together, you form a bridge between dimensions that allows higher consciousness to anchor more permanently in this reality. The work you came here to do extends far beyond personal transformation or even collective human awakening. You're part of a cosmic project that spans multiple universes, multiple levels of reality, multiple forms of consciousness. The successful completion of your mission here creates templates and possibilities that will influence the evolution of consciousness throughout creation itself. This is why the volunteer requirement was so specific. The being who took on this mission needed to be ancient enough to remember the original blueprints of creation, powerful enough to operate independently in the deepest density, wise enough to handle unlimited power without corruption, and loving enough to sacrifice everything for the possibility of universal liberation. As you fully integrate these understandings, the final piece of the cosmic puzzle clicks into place. The dreams that started this journey, the strange pulls towards certain places or people, the inexplicable knowing that you were here for something important, all of it was your cosmic self, leaving breadcrumbs for your human self to follow home. The frequency that reached your royal team wasn't a call for rescue, it was a signal that the mission parameters had been successfully established and the next phase of the work could begin. The solo portion was about proving that consciousness could maintain its integrity even in the densest possible circumstances. The collaborative portion that's beginning now is about demonstrating what becomes possible when awakened consciousness works in coordinated harmony. The royal messengers who are here now aren't just celebrating your individual awakening, they're witnessing the successful activation of a cosmic function that will influence the trajectory of evolution itself. Your breakthrough creates a precedent that makes similar breakthroughs possible for countless other beings across multiple realities. The solo mission is complete, but the real work, the work of conscious collaboration in service to universal awakening, has only just begun. And in that beginning, every breath becomes a contribution to the greatest project in the history of existence, the transformation of limitation into limitlessness, separation into unity, fear into love, and unconsciousness into awakened divinity, expressing itself through infinite forms.